Hey, Livingston, Dan Hall coming to you from the Bat Cave here in Eastern Madison. And it's so good to speak to you briefly. I say briefly, this will be a little bit longer video than normal because we have so many items to cover. So I'll go ahead and jump into it. First of all, the next, we've got a couple of emphasis that we're trying to be a blessing on. One is this Sunday will be our last Sunday to receive coats for the Ukrainian folks. We're trying to bless them and be a part of reducing that suffering. I hate to have to keep reiterating this isn't a political thing. I don't care where you fall on the political line. The point is we have brothers and sisters that are suffering. God has given us contact over this last year into Ukraine through Bevan Stein and others that allow us to get supplies into the nation directly. This is not sending it to some organization and disappearing. We know exactly who's getting it and where it's going. And they're going into the edges of the war zones and getting supplies to brothers and sisters that need it. So men, women, children, infants, anything, any kind of coat. As you know, it's getting very cold over there. And so if you can help us out, you may have some leftover ones. You may have extra ones. You may want to go down to Goodwill or even go down to the mall and buy some. Bring those Sunday. Also, if you'd like to help boxing them, Christy's going to be putting them in boxes and have several people helping her. It's kind of a big task. We're going to have to box those to put them in the shipment container to get them overseas. So come help us out on Sunday. If you'd like to be a part of that and you don't know Christy or don't know how to contact her through the women's group, then just email me at dan@livingstonfellowship.com. Secondly, every year the women we support at Crossroads Ministry, which is a transition home for people coming out of homelessness or addiction or jail or abuse situations, multiple ones. We're just having the privilege to be able to support them. Each Christmas, we've had the joy of getting little individual bags for them. We fill those bags with supplies, everything women like. I don't. You'd think with 5 daughters and a wife that I would know what all that is, but from nail polish and makeup to gift cards to mints to just whatever women would enjoy. We ask that you buy 30 of them. If you want to go in with another family or a small group, maybe y'all could do that together. But we'll begin to receive those supplies beginning this Sunday for the next 3 or 4 weeks. The trick is, as the ministry continues to grow and we get more and more women that we're not able to plan for, we're also going to be taking an offering. We've done this the last couple of years that allows us to have cash on hand to be able to buy extra supplies as those needs come in. So you can give that directly in the offering basket on Sunday. Just put it in the memo for Crossroads Women's Christmas. Or when you give online, there's a drop-down menu. You can go up there and you have General Fund and you have Johnny and Friends and you have Madcap, which are ministry to the underprivileged, but then we also have Crossroads. You can put that in there and we'll add that to their gift to them. So just be ready to do that. Number 3, we are going to, I think at a lot of churches, I've talked to a lot of churches, many of them are back in the groove. Most are still struggling in some ways or another, from attendance to all kinds of things. It's kind of a new day. The pandemic created some dynamics that have expanded opportunity, but have also created a little bit of a seismic shift. I say there's no such thing as a little bit of a seismic shift, but Livingston has felt that. We've been very fortunate. We've got a lot of people. We've seen some people transition in, transition out. That's kind of our dynamic. We're not concerned. We know we're a season. We're the home church of many people, but we're also a transitional church for many who are coming through a season of being de-churched or hurt or wounded, and they kind of come here. It's a respite area. We don't ask for long-term lifetime commitments. We're very fortunate that many of you have made Livingston your home. It's where you camp out. But this has been kind of getting back from all that. It's been a little odd to me. There's a lot of other things been going on. So I feel like the Lord's just given me real peace about relaunching. And we're not replanting the church, but it's going to be kind of a relaunch in January. So begin looking forward to that. We're going to begin to do some lunches and dinners in January and February. I'll be seeking to spend time with 10 to 15 people at a time in our church. I'll put those schedules out for you beginning in December, and you begin to look about where you would like to attend. I'll give you more of those specifics later. December schedule, next. This is real important. Two big issues. Number one, we will have a Christmas Eve service on Saturday, December 24th at 4 p.m. in the chapel. This will be kind of our launch into the Christmas. I've always enjoyed Christmas Eve services. My family and I have always gone to them together. We've enjoyed them. It's kind of our launch. It is our launch into the final big celebration of Christmas, and we love to start it around the person of Jesus. And so come join us on that Saturday, it's the 24th at 4 p.m. Then there will be no services on Christmas Day, the 25th, or New Year's Day, January 1st. That's going to be a little bit of a twist for some of us. We have traditionally, in our 5 years in existence, we have skipped the Sunday between Christmas and New Year's. People were traveling. We didn't want to try to tie a bunch of people up to serve around the church. So we just said, take the Sunday off. If you've been wanting to visit another church, or if you just wanted to sleep in without feeling bad about it, you should never feel bad about missing unless you're just being a toot. But just to be able to share that time with your family, maybe get together with some other families. But so January 1st, we won't be meeting. It's just been kind of a part of our rhythm, and we'll meet back together on January 8th. Will be our big Sunday starting back together. And then many of you know that I had the privilege of speaking at Liberty University at the convocation there a couple of weeks ago. It was a very humbling, honoring experience for me to be asked to do it. And I feel like that the Lord did grace me with a very clear word. I shared that word. I've got better sermons, but as far as the message I was sent to give, I felt a lot of peace about it. Many of you have seen it. You commented on it. Thank you for that. You've seen it on my Facebook page, Dan Hall Still on Course. If you're not following that and you're interested in kind of seeing my journey from paralysis to today, you can follow it there. But you can go on there. But I also just added it to the Livingston Facebook page, so you can look at it there or send some friends there if you find that interesting. I noted in the description that my part starts around 26:30, about 26 and a half minute mark. But the worship time is worth watching. So, and then finally, as I shared with you all a couple of weeks ago, and I tend not to share personal needs. I shared one recently where I got terribly, terribly sick. In the past, when I've not said a lot. I don't want the church to be built around me. At the same time, when it's affecting me and it's affecting my engagement with you, and I had to miss last week because of just having to stay off this thing. So I've got a pressure sore that began to develop in August, began to get worse in September, seemed to turn around in September and October, but it has taken a little bit of a turn for the worse. We are on top of it, but I would appreciate prayers in that. I will be here Sunday. I've got permission to be able to be on it for little bits at a time. But if you think about it, be praying for that. It's gotten reinfected, and which means that it's continuing to grow, and that creates a real health hazard for me. And so I won't go into too much detail. Many of you in the health industry know the danger of that. So I've been doing what I know to do on my end to help alleviate and prevent that. But sometimes it happens, and so we have to live with that. All right, I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. I'll be teaching how to partner with God for a miracle. If you're needing a miracle in your life, or if you just want to know how do I position myself for God to use me in a powerful way, we're going to be talking about that on this Sunday. So come join us 10 a.m., and I'll look forward to seeing you then. God bless you guys. Love you, and thank you for being a part of our body.